So this is a demo of the digital color plates. I have the digital color plates here on my desktop, and I'm going to take them and drag them into Photoshop, where I get this particular menu option here. I'm going to work on these individually one at a time. So I have my page here. Since it's staying in the digital space, I'm going to leave the resolution at 120, make sure the color mode is set to RGB. All the rest of this is fine. I'm going to rename it color wheel, color picker, and then just put my initials there. That way, when I go to move this and put this packet all together in Illustrator, I know what I'm looking for. So I'll click OK. You'll open it up, it'll look like this. I prefer a background, so I'm going to select white, make sure white is down here in the color picker and the paint bucket tool, and just place a black background, a white background here, just so that I could see it a little clearer. I want to lock this layer so nothing happens to it. In order to do that, I'm just going to select the layer. You can turn it off and on here, but I'm going to select lock, and I'm going to work on a second layer. Another thing that I'm going to select is I just want to make sure that I can select from any layer as I'm going and moving through this. So as I start, the first thing I'm going to do is the color wheel. I'm selecting Command plus sign and minus sign to zoom in. I'm holding down on the space bar to move the actual image around without changing anything. Command plus sign, and I'm going to start here at the top. There's a couple different ways I can do this depending on what you have set here. Auto select should be selected. You should be able to select from any layer as you're moving forward and through this. There's a couple different ways to do it depending on what you have your system set to. I want to start with red. If you see here underneath red, there's a number, and that number directly relates to the hue number here. So as I move across or up and down the color picker, you can see that the degrees change. So each one of these numbers underneath the letters relates to the degree hue within this space. So I want to make sure it's set to 0 for red, and I want to move in this top right hand corner and make sure saturation and brightness are both at 100%. If I look through this, this is the RGB, the LAB, and then the CMYK here, and then the hex code is also here. Right? This little warning button here, it's called a gamma warning. So what that means is that not all computer screens will be able to read that as directly red, and that's okay. For our purposes, it's okay to leave the warning there, right? And this is also both warnings. If you select them, you'll see it makes changes in saturation and brightness. For us, we just want to make sure saturation and brightness are at 100% and click OK. Sometimes when I do this, I can use the paint bucket, and it might go directly into that. If not, it's okay. You can also click and hold on the marquee tool. Anywhere there's a little white arrow on the bottom of one of these tools on the toolbar, which is on the left-hand side, that's the toolbar, you have different options. I'm going to select the circle, and if I hold down shift, it'll give me an exact circle. I can then use the right and left arrow keys on my keyboard to place that circle right there in the center. What the marquee does is that only that area within the inside of what I call the dancing ants will be impacted by what you do. So I can go back to the paint bucket tool and I can click anywhere on this page, but the only thing that's going to be impacted is that little red tool. Command D to deselect, and I filled in the first one. A very quick, fast way is to hold down Option and select that red box and duplicate it to the next. In order to change it, you're going to go back into double clicking in the color picker, and the degree number is 36. So you can type in 36. making sure saturation and brightness are at 100% that you've selected up in the top right-hand corner. Click OK. And use the, I like to use the magic wand tool. That's interesting. Let's uncheck contiguous. So when I uncheck contiguous, it means it's when contiguous is unchecked, it means it's going to select every instance of what you're trying to select. For me, I just want this one, so I check it, and it's only going to select things that are, or pixels that are touching in that sense. So I can go back to this color, click OK, and I can either make a new layer, I can use the paint bucket tool. There's so many different ways. I see that this has given me a little bit of red on the outside, which I don't want. So I'm just going to Command Z to undo and not be a little bit lazy, but I'm actually going to make a new marquee tool. And just make sure it fits. So there's all kinds of different ways you can do it. If you find a faster one, yay, good for you. Using the marquee tool, using the paint bucket tool, and I'll place it. And I'll repeat that all the way around. Now let's talk about how to fill out this one. For this one, what I want you to do is I want you to match the value. And if you look at the top, this is an adjustment with pure hue to white with 100% brightness. So you can select any hue that you want. I might even unlock this box. So any hue that you want. I have to use the marquee tool. It's okay. So you'll select the box. You can start with any hue. In the very, very top, all three of these, and I'm holding down Shift and Option to duplicate. So you can see I have the double arrow there. That tells me that I'm duplicating. I use the magic wand tool, shortcut W, V to move around to get the move tool. Option Shift will mean I will go down in a specific straight line right there. I want to make changes to this one. You have this lovely, lovely menu here. If you don't have it, you can open it up in Windows. It's your color window. So you're changing in hue to white. So you're going to go across the top. And I'll hold down Option first, and making sure you get it. The double arrow, and then make a change. There you go. And you'll place the next step color in the box right as you're done. Okay, so you'll start making these changes. This one didn't pick up, so there we go. So you're moving directly across. G for paint bucket tool. This one also looks a little desaturated, so I'm using the W to the wand tool. W to get the wand tool, G for the paint bucket tool. And then Command Z to undo, holding down Option and Shift to duplicate that. And I keep it with the dancing ants to make sure nothing changes all the way around. So I'm going across the top, G shortcut, V for the move tool, Option Shift, dragging it down, going over to the cup. So I'm moving across the top. So I'm moving, changing in brightness. G for paint bucket tool. And I'll keep doing that all the way across. V for move tool, Option Shift, drag it down. Next, G for a paint bucket tool. Command D to deselect, and I recommend zooming out just to make sure it's an even step scale. For hue black, from hue to black with brightness and saturation, you're going to do the same thing, moving from top to bottom. For hue to black diagonal, you're adding black and white each time, so you're moving through to gray. So you can go ahead and complete those two, and that's how you'll complete this. We're going to have to end here because we're going to have break, and then let's come back at 12:30 today, and I'll show you how to do the next set of digital plates.